Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, on August 14, 2015, this committee sent a letter to 160 public colleges and universities that had received a red light rating from the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, FIRE. According to FIRE, a red light institution is one that has at least one policy that both clearly and substantially restricts freedom of speech. FIRE defines a clear restriction as a policy that, on its face, is a threat to free speech and does not depend on how the policy is applied. FIRE defines a substantial restriction as a policy that is broadly applicable to speech on campus. Given the positive responses to this letter by many colleges and universities and the increased attention to this issue, we've seen a substantial decrease in unconstitutional policies across the country in the last 2 years. FIRE reported last year that only 45.8% of the public schools surveyed received a red light rating. This year, the number has dropped to 33.9%. My hope is that the number will soon reach zero. Policies that limit free speech limit the expression of ideas, and no one can be confident in their own ideas unless those ideas are constantly tested through exposure to the widest variety of opposing arguments. This is especially crucial in a democracy. Founders of our country understood this clearly. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson wrote of the importance of knowledge in a democracy. Washington wrote, "Knowledge is, in every country, the surest basis of public happiness. In proportion as the structure of a government gives force to public opinion, it is essential that public opinion should be enlightened." And as Thomas Jefferson reminded us, knowledge is power. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. James Madison wrote of the inherent connection between learning and liberty, writing, and I quote, "What spectacle can be more edifying or more seasonable than that of liberty and learning, each leaning on the other for their mutual and surest support? A popular government without popular information or the means of acquiring it is but a prologue to a farce or a tragedy or perhaps both. A people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives." John Adams wrote specifically of the young that, "It should be your care, therefore, and mine, to elevate the minds of our children and exalt their courage. If we suffer their minds to grovel and creep in infancy, they will grovel all their lives." I thank Chairman King for holding this hearing, and I thank our witnesses for coming today. I look forward to your testimony and your ideas about how we can continue to foster the free expression of ideas on college campuses.